My name is George Etheridge. I am the conductor of the Capitol Wind Symphony in the Washington metropolitan D.C. area. I want to tell you about a new and very exciting and innovative program in band and orchestra festivals that's being offered exclusively in Washington, D.C. The program is called Partners in Performance. It is sponsored by the Capitol Music Fest. We know as music educators that an oral example, whether it's a recording or a demonstration by a gifted performer, is a wonderful example, a wonderful learning tool for young musicians. Essentially, I take 18 to 20 professional musicians, usually from the United States military bands, which of course are based in Washington. I take them into a rehearsal setting with middle and high school bands. And rather than trying to explain how I would change a phrase or improve upon a playing technique, I will have my colleagues from the service bands demonstrate, either collectively or individually. They will sometimes perform with the students, play along, and it's a very informal setting, a very spontaneous setting, and I will tell you, always effective. My colleagues here in Fairfax County, the band conductors and orchestra conductors, have been unanimous in their praise of the effectivity of this.
This program really benefits the students because they get to hear these professional musicians do it exactly on the first try, do it exactly right on the first try. We had this program last year at my school, and after the program was finished, my students played completely differently. They were more excited about the music that they played. The expression on their face after the musicians got done playing for them was just priceless. They were so excited about the music because they had never heard it sound that way before in their band. This is a wonderful program. I highly recommend band directors explore this option. It's much different than just going to a music festival and playing for a rating and having one judge comment. It really, truly involves your students in the music making and will make a huge difference in their playing.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you have had a chance to introduce yourselves. You've all met your partner there. These are all some of the finest young musicians in the Washington, D.C. area, primarily from the United States service bands with a few freelance people. So I thought we'd all sort of play together for a while. Let's start with the Alamo March, the Carl King March. We're going to all play together, and then we'll take it apart and see what we can do. All set? Now, I'd like for the students in the Lanier Band to listen to the professional players play for just a second. We'll leave the timpani out. John, let's have you play snare drum, if you would. So we'll play from the beginning, just the professional players, a bit faster. purposes of this type of workshop is to hear the difference in the different types of sound. What did you hear, Lanier students? What do you hear? What differences do you notice? Yes, sir.
More emphasis on the accents.
Yeah, very good. Exactly. What about? Yes, sir.
There was space in between the half notes and whole notes.
Absolutely. Good for you. Anybody else? Anything else you heard? Yes, sir.
A lot more dynamic contrast.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah. Well, you guys are good. You know. Yes, sir.
And where supports.
Yeah. Well, that's how they're doing it, isn't it? But that's very good. But I want you to sort of. What we want to do is to sort of hear what's going on, and then we'll figure out how they're doing it afterwards. Okay. So that's great. Very good. You know, when you're looking at music, there's so much in music that on the page that just isn't there. And you have to make a lot of decisions about how things are supposed to be played. So first of all, you want to be thinking in the terms, let's think in the terms of most traditional music like this and the other things that you're doing are divided into two different styles. Some things are very song-like, very linear, very legato. Some things are very rhythmically based, dance-based. And so we have to decide what this march is. So what would you say, which is this? Is this more song or more dance? Okay. Is this about like this, or is it movement oriented? It's more dance, yes. It's very rhythmic. Okay, so what we want to do is focus on the rhythm of the thing. I want you to hear the professional players play at number 5. With John, if you would play bass drum on this, I'd appreciate it. At number 5. Now all I want to hear is the tuba, the bass drum, the French horn, the baritone saxophone, bassoon, and bass clarinet. This is what we're going to sit the march on. This is the basis. This is the pulse. Here we are. We're starting at number 5. You see how that works? That's almost just like a clock. And we're going to sit the rest of this music on top of it. Now, put on top of this the woodwinds, please. Just the woodwind part. This is number 5. 2, 3. Let's go back to the rhythmic bass, and I want to have all the Lanier players play with the professional players. So we're doing the bassoon, the bass clarinet. Let's put the snare drum in if you're playing it. Tubas, all those players. This is number 5. Just the rhythm. 1, 2, and go. Wonderful. Now let's have all of the woodwinds play with the rhythm. At 5, 2, 3, and. So there's a little bit of a difference here. Let's have the professional players play just the woodwind players. I want the Lanier students to listen to the spaces between the notes. All right? Same place. You might say to yourself, well, that doesn't really sound like a half note. It really isn't getting a full length. Yeah, they're cheating a little bit because they're all playing the same rhythm. So we need you to play a little bit less long. Let me hear just the Lanier players play at number 5. And 1, 2, and go. Let's go even not with the rhythm yet, just the woodwind players. Let's go a little more space. A little more space. Woodwind players, 2, 3, and. Listen that much for the professional players. Listen what they're doing. A couple of things that were different than what you did. You know what they were? Anybody? Yes. They did. They really did. You know which note did they accent the most? Actually, yeah, mostly on the half note, exactly. Why do you suppose they did that? You're exactly right. What do we call that kind of rhythm? Syncopation, exactly. And you're going to see this in a lot of the things that we're doing. This march is full of that. So every time you have a little syncopated note, it's going to get a little bit of an accent. That's wonderful. Thank you. Anything else that you heard that's a little different? Listen to him do it again. Anything else? Sir.
Articulation.
Yes, thank you very much. What was different about it?
It was like more sharp.
It was, wasn't it? How do you do that? How do you do it on the clarinet? How do you make more of an ictus to the attack?
Well, you support with more air, but you also hit the tongue a little harder.
Okay.
Or take the tongue off a little bit harder.
Right, so the tongue comes, so the pressure hits the reed a little bit more. Is it the same on the oboe?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like the air,
Yeah.
and then it's the tongue coming off the reed quicker.
Because your band director, Lanier student, your band director did a really good thing. I was watching the warm-up. He had you do a passage in one of the earlier pieces where you were just doing the air, and you did. Remember you doing that? Yeah. Think about how you made that "to" sound. How did you do that? You built up a little pressure, did you not, behind the tip of your tongue? That's what they're doing. Listen to them do it again. You'll hear it. Listen to the trumpets do it, because they have the same figuration. I didn't mean to ignore you guys. And number 5 trumpets. So there's going to be that sound that you were making earlier in the rehearsal. We're going to put more accent on the half note, which is the syncopated note in measure 2. And we're going to put more spaces. The reason, this may occur to you that perhaps this is all very overly picky, but you'll find that good musicians have a plan when they go to play. They don't just sort of walk on stage and play it the way they feel at the moment. There's always a plan that they have, and this is part of it, all right? So let's all play at number 5 now. Everybody, the entire group. So think about your plan. Bass people, you're going to really keep on top of this. And I neglected the trombones because trombones, and the euphonium, every time you have those little quarter note things, you want to bring those out. Carl King was a euphonium player, and he liked to do this in a lot of his marches. Do you know what that's called? Trombone euphonium? So it's almost like a conversation. It's almost like a second melody in a way. They play da 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 dee da da da. You kind of comment on it. It's like you're having a conversation with friends, and you say, "Oh, that's right, absolutely." So you want to really hear this. It's terribly important. So I'll put it together now. Number 5. Everybody, keep us alive. Rhythm people, you're the most important. 2, 5, and. All the trumpets play, please, all together at 5, 2, and go. All of the rest of you who are listening, what do you find a problem with that? Listen carefully. Do it again, please. They sound good. It's just there's something about it that isn't quite march-like. Okay, that's what we're after. We're going to keep it in character. Right? Ready? You did it differently, though. What did you do? Yeah. They spaced it more the second time, didn't they? So shame on you. You knew better. You were just testing me, weren't you? So that's what it needed. It needed that space to make it march-like. You want everybody that's in your audience, whether they're there or wherever they are today, to say, ah, that's a march. So it's going to be da, 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 trumpet, do that for me. 2, 3, and. Just listen to the attack of his first note. You hear that? Play it 2 legato. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a march, does it? So we need, just to get more march-like trumpets, we need a little more release of sound, a little more pressure built up, and then get off the note. Trumpet, 2, 3. Listen to the prose. It's not still too long. Prose. It's got to have the spaces. Now look, there are 3 of them. We're going to add another, 6 or so. The more we add, the more exaggerated it has to be. So you're actually going to be playing individually, getting off of every note very quickly. Let's try one more time. Get off the notes. 1, 2, big breath. It's better. We're getting there as we go, but I've got a lot of other things I want to do today, but we really want to get it sounding like a march, okay? Everything is spaced. Everybody at 5, please. 5. Spaces. And 1, 2, and. pleasures about music is that it's very conversational, and it's really wonderful to listen because you look at your part, again, you're being a little bit of a detective. Woodwinds, you have in your third bar of 22, you have a long note. You have a note that's held for 2.5 beats, right? Chances are that's not a melodic idea, right? So you got at the, remember what happened in the first string? There was something that was being done in the trombone, and it's happening again. So when you get to your part, can you play for me? Listen to what she does on the long note. She's going to get out of the way because she knows there's something coming up. Just there. Dave, would you play with the flute? Yeah. We're right at 22. Just go ahead and play your part. Yeah. Here we go. Right at 22. And. Okay. So you see how wonderful it is because one kind of fades away and the other one comes right out and the other one gets out of the way. It's wonderfully conversational and the music makes sense, right? Okay, let's do 22. 22, everybody that plays. 22. 1, 2, and go. Much better. So there's a lot of that going on. John, I know it's over here. What would you suggest to our timpanist to kind of keep things a little more lively?
What kind of sticks are you using? I'm going fairly hard sticks. Maybe you can dampen in between each note.
Okay, could you show
So
him?
that it's a little shorter. Yeah, sure.
I doubt seriously if Carl King had timpani in his marches,
Probably.
but it's there and we want him to play.
Like that.
Yeah. So play for me, John. Stay there on the timpani. And let's all play at 22 the second time through, everybody. Second time through. You'll hear, young man. You'll hear how Mr. Kilkenny's kind of leading the band with it. Here we go. We are at 22. 1, 2, and go. It's a small item, but this is the kind of thing that you must keep your concentration on. In the last 3 bars before the ending, we have 2 half notes and then a dotted half note. All of a sudden, some people started to run that together. And what happens with it, you see, you as players performing for an audience are very much like actors in a play. And you have a particular role. You have a character that you're portraying. If a player on the stage in a drama steps out of character, and becomes, say, themselves, or loses concentration, something happens, it cracks, and the illusion is gone. So you have to stay in character all the time. So the last 3 bars, we have to still hear da, da, dee, dee, dee. It's always got to, everybody has to space it all the time. When we play those last 3 bars, it's, you don't have measure numbers, nor do I. It's 3 measures before the first ending in the second strain. See where it is? You have a high D here. Do we know where it is? Right on those measures. Put the spaces. 2, 3, and. So keep it in that kind of character. All right. I think I will move on. Because the march has, if you will carry over these ideas throughout this march, there are an awful lot of similarities through this, all right? So the spaces all have to be there, the accents on the syncopated notes, all those sorts of things. Let's go to Sedona.